So we're going to be dealing with market formations. And basically what market formations are basically like a standpoint structure of when you see a setup, you see. So there's basically about 3 to 4 basic market formations that will happen when a market is getting ready to, to release a trade or execute a movement, you see. So with the formations, the most common one will be your head and shoulders.
Okay.
Will be your head and shoulders. So it can also even be a double head and shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah, double head and even double shoulders, which we're gonna go through. So when it comes to the head and shoulders, usually how it works is that we're gonna first identify where the trend is. You see, so the trend is what we usually call our left shoulder. So the left shoulder is where the liquidity is majority of the time. So this works vice versa to buying or selling, but I'm just gonna use selling instances so that you can just stick to one thing. So
Okay.
we're just gonna have an example of the market. Sorry about that. I'm just so it's just gonna be the basic trend that we see coming, and then around about a point, we are looking for basically an inflative point, which is when the market starts to inflate, because we only start to see market formations during inflation. During and after inflation is where we are going to see our market formations happening. So we'll usually get an aggressive dip down, and then we'll get an extreme up, which will then be, so this point here will be when inflation is acting on the market here. So you would have already had your trend here. You see, you would have had your trend. So we're looking for that inflative part. Once we see that, so our market will come to a point, and it will most of the time turn by what we call an order block, where there's a prominent order. And then from that point, we'll start to see a correction. So when it starts to correct, it will come and basically test what the trend is, test where the trend is. So immediately when it comes to test where the trend is, majority will be looking to enter where you break off the trend, you see. So from that point, once we already saw this is basically the left shoulder. And once it comes to that inflative point, it will reveal a head. You see that? It will reveal a head. And once it reveals a head, once it comes back, test this trend, it will come back up. And at this point, it can either do two things. It can either come back up, and then when it comes back up, it's coming back to test these highs and take out some of the retail, not take out some of the scalpers that are on this point. You see, but in the instance of our head and shoulders, it will come and test this shoulder, and then we will get the trade on the right hand, which will be around about our 80% level, and this will be like 100%. This will be our 80% match with the shoulder. So it will come and execute these orders that are here, take out a little bit of the scalpers, and then it will start to fall. So this dynamic, we call it a head and shoulder formation. And basically the premium will be the head, and then the discount will be the right shoulder. So we only trade the head to the right shoulder. You see, the left shoulder
Yeah.
is just an indication. At that point, it's just indicating to us that, okay, we've passed the inflative point. You see, other than that, like I said, it will come back, collect these orders here. And once it collects those orders, it will come back. It will do a fake break
Mm.
to up until this point here where we're tested. It will do a fake break and then a reversal just to test that line of the trend. And then we'll get to see it go once it creates a double head and shoulder, you see.
Mm.
So the market can always come back and take, it can even show you three heads. It can even show you three heads. But the main thing about it is the level, you have to know the level and understand the level. And once you get basically
Okay.
the idea of the structure of how the head and shoulders works, you'll be able to take advantage and see it coming in all these different forms. You see that? So that will be like our head and shoulder, formation. It can be two heads or it can just be one. It all just depends.
Yeah.
So another one that we have is it's what we call it's a double top. It's a double top, which is similar as a head and shoulder. It's just that on this one, it does not show you the shoulder at first. It will only show you the two heads. It can only show you the two heads. So, for instance, let's take that out. Here's the double shoulder. So for instance, in the double shoulder, we still have that same trend. We're always looking for the trend. So we have that trend. We get our trend. So from this point, we'll get an impulsive move. After we get that impulsive move, here's the trend. So we always got to mark with the trend line and everything. So yeah, we have the trend. So we have the trend going up, and then we'll have it coming down. Oh, sorry about that. And then we'll have it coming down, and then it will literally just stop in the middle. It won't go and test this boundary here. It won't go and test. If it does go and test it, then we're looking for a shoulder as well. So it will turn back, go and collect these orders again, which taking out the scalpers here, opening up more orders, spreading the price a bit. And then from there, we will start to get a executive trade. And then we will get our institutional trade, where we get the IPA, which is our price action, impulsive price action after that move. So basically,